Okay, so we got it out of the package here. The batteries out of the package, and also got the fobs off the key rings to make it a little easier to work with. One of the things that, one of the other things that a lot of the videos don't point out is that they don't really talk about the batteries much and the importance of making sure you get authentic batteries. One of the things, issues with ordering through Amazon that I've experienced with, especially low-end electronic devices or batteries, a lot of them are fake. Pretty quickly determined that these Duracells that I purchased are not fake due to how difficult they were to get into, tamper-proof, and also I didn't mean to tear them up as I tried to get them ready a while ago, but on the back, the packaging, you'll notice the lot number printed here. No abnormalities in the spelling or the barcode or anything like that, and also it'll have a best buy date. A lot of the fakes won't have that printed, and a lot of the fakes will not have tamper-proof packaging, much less what I just discovered, these things, these harmful if swallowed stickers that are kind of difficult to get off. So make sure you get those off before you get them in the battery. But more importantly, just make sure your batteries are authentic. The last thing you want is some fake battery, Chinese battery melting in your fob, costing you a couple $100 or more. I think these are pretty expensive, and also having to get a new set of batteries and whatnot. So just make sure that if you're ordering online, before you put them in there, just make sure there's no abnormalities with the batteries. And I would try to go as far as to say maybe as the importance of these key fobs are or how expensive they are, that maybe you ought to get them at a local store or somewhere reputable, But in terms of just making sure, check the date, the tamper-proof sealing, misspellings, or anything wrong with the font, and especially like these type of stickers on these. Now some Panasonics that I ordered for the other one that I already put them in, they didn't have any of this, and it kind of makes me a little bit nervous, but everything else was right in terms of the expiration date, and some of the other packaging markings did not look off, so I'm going to have to trust it with that. Anyways, let's go ahead and get at it. For this part, we'll need either some sort of small screwdriver assembly or a Swiss Army knife or whatever, but you're just going to take the key fob, turn it over, and there's like a little switch here, and you'll just take and push this thing down, and it's a little lever. And you push and pull. There it goes. So it just snaps open like that. And one of the first things you notice a lot of the videos will cover is this is kind of like your emergency key for your glove box or whatnot. I think there's some sort of secret access panel on the side if you pop off your driver's side door handle cover or something like that. I've not tried that myself, but this is on a Ford Mustang. This also tutorial in terms of replacing the battery may go as far as, some of the other vehicles, the Fusion, Fiesta, the Explorer, Escape, whatnot, or even maybe some of the Super Duty trucks. I'm not entirely sure. I'll try to tag it in the description, and y'all can leave comments or whatnot if it applies to those other vehicles. But I just wanted to cover some of the other things that the other videos did not, in terms of like the batteries and some of this other stuff I'm just about to show you. From here, you'll have the first initial cover, the key out, and then you'll want to pop this out. And you can do this with like a quarter or something like that, or a penny, but I'm going to try my best not to damage it too much. There we go. So you just want to be careful that you really don't want to break this thing. I'm not sure how much a replacement costs, but it can't be cheap. And just make sure that you get all the debris out and everything like that as you pull this thing apart, and keep it clean, and just, maybe even wise to use those cell phone repair kits that have the plastic little flat heads instead of this metal one, so I don't indent it as I'm going over it. So that's a tip for you guys at home. In terms of this is what we have here. It just comes off like that, and when you're putting it back in, it kind of goes like that, so that's how it pops off of there. This part's obviously your buttons and assembly, but there's that dielectric grease that I was talking about. A lot of these videos do not cover the importance of that and what it does. And you can already see these batteries, I just replaced those Panasonics, I believe. Some of that grease left over was imprinted itself on here. And so this has the new batteries. I'm going to just put a little bit of more dielectric grease on, and just a tad, just enough to cover the surface real lightly. if you've taken yours apart, just pay attention to how much is there and maybe reapply the same amount. It's not much. I'm just going to put a little bit of my fingertip or a Q-tip and put it on there. For this part, there's 2 batteries here. It doesn't look that way at first, but as you pop out the first battery, do it carefully. See there? And also, it's good to memorize the orientation of the battery. See how I think that's the negative facing up. And there's a little picture on this piece of paper that I was telling you guys about. Right there. It just shows you how the batteries need to be put in and everything. And just be really careful, because it is a little bit like if a paper, plastic, synthetic material or something like that. When you're pulling it out and whatnot, so the batteries don't short themselves out. You just pull that back, and then see this one's facing positive up. So you just want to carefully pop that out. Not like I just did, but you'll also notice there's a little bit of dielectric grease there. So same principle applies. Just put a little bit on the back of that battery. Just make sure it's the correct side of it that you're putting in there. So one will have to be, actually, they'll both be on the bottom, the grease will, because this one's facing down and that one's facing up. So on the negative side. Anyways, I'm going to go ahead and show you guys how much I'm talking about here. So we'll just take a little bit of this stuff. And this is just dielectric grease. This is an overkill tube. I think this is something for like spark plugs or whatever. And I think they even make smaller packets, because you don't need just a tiny bit. Maybe like that, if that. And so we're going to turn the battery over and just put that on there, and kind of just like that. That'd be about right. And then now we can go ahead and reinsert the battery, which should be a little bit easier if we can get this paper up. Just like that. Bam, pops in. Put the paper down. And then I'm going to get a little more and put it on this other one. There. And that's all you really need. We're done with the grease for this one. And we will go ahead and make sure that it's the correct orientation. And that may be just a little much, but I'm going to go with that. I don't think it can hurt anything. Really, I'll try to level it out. There we go, that's better. Alright, and so now we just reverse the process to get the key back together. And just check this gasket. Mine had a little bit of debris. Won't hurt to blow it out just a bit. Make sure nothing's crazy's going on here. And then we just reverse the process. So as we saw a while ago, you take this assembly, it kind of goes in there like this. And this was just as hard to put back together as it was taken apart in terms of how much force it required. It requires quite a bit. Just make sure everything's aligned down here. There, it took quite a bit of force. Just make sure we're sealed all the way around. And then we can put our emergency key back. And then we can put this back on, like so. Pop. And there you have it. Alright, thank you guys for watching. And just to highlight again, the big things that I wanted to cover that aren't covered in the other videos is the fact that a lot of the batteries are fake, that it requires 2 batteries, CR 2025s, just making sure they're authentic, and then the dielectric grease, I believe, is also important that a lot of the other videos do not cover. Anyways, just give it a thumbs up, and if you like, and then if you have any other comments or whatnot, just leave a comment below. Appreciate it. Thanks, guys.